My Chemical Romance, and before that, Zed, and you are now listening to and watching Dan and Phil.
That song is impossible to sing on SingStar, isn't
really
it?
is,
Do you
yeah.
remember? That last bit is really long and it's hard. No one has the lung capacity for that. Jared Way sold his soul to Satan. Only way you can explain the lung capacity.
Yes.
BBC
Radio
1.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Dan and Phil here on Radio 1. Phil, you are wearing the faces of a bear today.
It's an angry bear, and that's how I feel on the inside all the time. I
Is
just
it?
don't reveal it.
Is that why you chose it? Okay.
Yeah. And Dan, you're wearing a kaleidoscope of cats.
I am. Looks like a very bad experience that someone's had after eating something. Yes! Dan and Phil on Radio 1 for the next 2 hours with our crazy interactive show, which is all about putting you guys in control of what happens. We will be taking your song requests, your calls, lurking on your Twitter profiles and reading stuff out. Phil, how are the many ways that people can get involved?
Well, if you've got fingers, you can tweet us at BBCR1 or leave a request on the Radio 1 Facebook page. You can text us on 81199 or call us on 03700 100 100. My mum said to say the phone number slower because I was like... So it's 03700 100 100 if you want to speak to us.
Okay, Catherine, I hope that you approved of that one. And remember, if you go to bbc.co.uk/Radio1, you can watch the entire show happen live on camera, where you can see me and Phil in the studio. All of our features, such as Internet News in 15 minutes, which involves a pasta vision of a celebrity, which you'll really want to see. A Commonwealth Games special, Dan vs. Phil, which we are really going to love because we're massive sports fans. And, of course, some amazing music videos tonight. Isn't that true, Phil?
It is, and this one, I need to give you a moment to get on the website, as this next video is possibly one of my favourites we've ever had on the show.
I think it's one of the best ones we've ever had. I agree.
It's so good. Anastasia and Alexander have experimented with slow-motion shutter speeds and light-up Tron suits, and it just looks so good. It's incredible. So get on the Radio 1 website now to see this. Here is Two Door Cinema Club. So, I have something I want to talk about. Probably the highlight of my life happened this week.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I will give you that.
I was just walking back from the hairdressers. Do you like my haircut, by the way? Totally different.
Yeah, you really shook things up this time, Phil.
It's exactly the same. I was just walking along and I saw this girl. I was like, that is a really pretty girl. And she had a hat on and big sunglasses. So I was like, I kind of recognise her. I'm not sure who
Suspiciously
it is.
stylish.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
she turned to her friend, took off the sunglasses and said, "Oh, granola. I've been looking for granola for ages. Amazing." And I realised it was Emma Watson. Emma, actual Hermione Watson, was stood in front of me talking about granola.
Emma, actual Hermione Watson. How far away from you was she?
Like, I could see her freckles.
You could see details on the face.
I was about three noses distance, so it wasn't like kissing distance, but it was like 3 noses away from her.
If you were within kissing distance of her, that would be a bit weird, especially if
Yeah.
he was wearing a hat.
I'd be entering restraining order territory. But yeah.
Was it the voice that gave it away? Just granola, fantastic.
Yeah, the voice mixed with the face, completely perfect, just made my life.
Wow.
And that was totally unexpected.
So what did you do after that happened? What were you doing? Did you just stop walking?
I stopped in my tracks and just stared at her for a while, which isn't what you should do if you're a celebrity. You should let them go about their daily business. But I didn't do that. I just stared at her for ages. So sorry, Emma, if you're listening. I'm not a creepy guy. I liked your face.
And your restraining order is in the post.
Anyway.
So everything is fine.
I wanted to talk about that today, though. Like, unexpected occurrences.
Yeah, specifically, what is something that has maybe either happened last week or at some point in your life that you remember that has just been totally unexpected, where life just does something incredibly random and surprising that you're just like, oh, okay, that entered my life out of nowhere, and wow, such as Emma Watson. I talked about the time that a robin fell down my chimney at 6 a.m. That was quite traumatizing, actually.
I want them to be more unexpected, though, like a moose walked into your house. Something that changed your day. So you woke up in the morning thinking, I didn't think my day was going to turn out like that.
And then the universe just, bam, moose in your house.
Right.
Things like that.
We get the point. You can hashtag tweet us with "that was unexpected"
Okay, hashtag that was unexpected.
at BBCR1 on Twitter. And you can also text us on 81199 or call us with your story on 03700 100 100. And there's a bonus of doing that as you get to request a song at the same time.
Bam.
But I've been looking on Twitter and Bryony wants to hear Tiesto with Wasted. So here you go, Bryony. Enjoy this.
Tiesto with Wasted on Radio 1. So after Phil's serendipitous bump in with Emma Watson randomly on the streets of London,
There was no body contact, no actual human bumping.
no actual bumping, just a very severe emotional bump in Phil's life.
Yes.
We asked you guys to tell us what random events have intervened in your existence with the hashtag That Was Unexpected. And I've got some tweets from people, Phil. At Dat Howell, nice name, said, I was sat in my buggy once as a child on the beach with an ice cream and a seagull flew down and snatched it out of my hand and I started crying.
That's the danger of beaches.
What, seagulls?
Seagulls.
I don't trust them.
No.
They're obnoxiously large birds with beady eyes.
They're dead behind the eyes. If you looked into a seagull's
They
eye,
have no souls,
just
do
like
they?
tiny little white
Oh, it
donuts.
was gross. My secondary school used to have seagulls just circling around it just to eat the litter and stuff, and it was horrible because if you were like the last person to come in after lunch, the seagulls would just descend on you. So
Yeah.
if it was like one boy walking slowly with a sandwich versus 50 seagulls, they would just like swarm you. It was like Alfred Hitchcock. It was truly horrifying. So I agree with you there. That was tough. At Zoe Tomlinson said, I once walked outside my house and there was a rabbit's head on my porch. Surprise from the cat.
No!
Oh.
That's not a mouse, that's a rabbit.
The thing is, the cats just mean it like, hey, owner, I love you. Have this corpse.
I love rabbits,
It's a
though.
token of love.
I had a house rabbit for about 10 years. I feel the same about rabbits as I do about babies.
Okay,
So
right.
we can't joke about that anymore.
No, and then one here from Grace, who said that when she went to camp, Jennifer Lawrence was her camp counselor, and then she went on to become super mega famous.
What?
Imagine being like, oh, I've got angsty teen problems, camp counselor Jennifer Lawrence, and then you're like, oh my god.
That is so cool. Imagine that.
It's not really a surprise as much as like a genuine wow.
Well, it's a later in life surprise. Like, who
Yeah,
was that
yeah.
counsellor? It was Katniss
The
Everdeen.
Hunger Games poster.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's my counsellor.
Did any of those meet your Moose in the House requirements, Phil?
I think they were all pretty good. I didn't like the rabbit one, but I like Jennifer Lawrence. That's good, because now we know as well, celebrity fact, she's good at giving advice.
She is. Oh, that just makes it even more perfect.
Yeah.
She volunteered to be a camp counselor.
Well, please keep more of those coming in with hashtag that was unexpected.
Indeed, but now courtesy of Ciara Lewis O'Dare, which is, I think, in my opinion, the coolest name ever, we have got Owl City with the song that Cheryl Cole did in the Live Lounge, which currently has more dislikes than likes on YouTube, if you're just wondering. This is Firefly.
So we've had lots of texts about hashtag that was unexpected.
Or rather, the theme of it.
The theme. Leave your name, though, if you text us, because we've got an anonymous here, which is amazing. I got robbed by an adult male baboon while I was on holiday in Kenya.
Wow.
It broke into our room while me and my wife were getting changed in the
Okay.
bathroom, and we caught it running off with our toothpaste.
I can't imagine anything more instantly, like, scary. Imagine you just getting dressed, like you're naked, putting your trousers in something, and then a baboon bursts in and takes your toothpaste. I just scream until I died, I think.
Well, that's another fact we've learned. Baboons want better dental hygiene. We could start a
They
charity.
demand it. Maybe he just wanted to remain anonymous.
Maybe.
To be fair.
Maybe. Joe in Oxford was lying on his back on a trampoline when a pigeon pooed in his mouth.
No. No.
How? Oh, that's horrific.
That kind of situation is literally like the universe, the planets have aligned to make the actual worst possible thing that could happen at that moment happen.
Definitely.
Straight in the mouth.
Oh, on that note, we're going to speak to Danny. Hi, Danny.
Hello.
Hello. So what happened to you that was unexpected?
Okay, so when I was about 6 or something,
Yeah?
we're all in like assembly or something, and the headmaster suddenly just went, one of you tomorrow is going to be the headmaster for the day.
What?
And out of nowhere, they just went, Danny, you're going to be headmaster for the day.
No way. So you were
Yeah,
headmaster
no
for the day?
notice. Yeah, and it was the next day as well.
And what did you do
And
as headmaster?
I had to do the assembly, and on Fridays they done like golden book. They put all like the teachers put a name of someone that's been good, and I had to read that all out.
Wow.
Really?
And then I had to have a meeting with the governors of the school.
What?
No way. Did you get to go in the staff room?
Yeah, I had to sit in her office all day.
What?
That's kind of weird. Did they explain why they did this, or did she just like have a breakdown and she was just like, "You do it"? Like, what was the
I
story?
was like 9. I didn't really think much about it. But people had to call me Miss Jackson.
Miss Jackson.
Wow. Did you go crazy with power?
Yeah, all my friends like came run up to me and was like, "Oh, Miss Jackson!" And I was just like, "Yay!"
Did it inspire you to be a teacher in the future? You're going to be a teacher now when you grow up?
No.
No.
Not clever enough.
What are you going to be, just out of curiosity?
I have no clue.
You have no clue. But you
I
can
need to think about that.
you can request a song and think about it while we listen to it. What would you like to listen to?
Midnight City by M83.
Any dedications on this one?
Yeah, can I dedicate it to my friends Angie, Humna, Mia and Lorena?
This goes out to all of your friends. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Miss
Thank
Jackson.
you.
Internet news is on the way, so get your 3D glasses ready. If you've got any, you can wear them with us. M83. M83 for Headmistress Miss Jackson.
Get to bbc.co.uk/Radio 1 now to watch the Dan and Phil show on Radio 1.
Now it's time for the news broadcast, the only news broadcast featuring rapping, mysterious pasta, and famous dogs. This is the Emmy-nominated Internet News.
It's not Emmy-nominated, Phil.
It could be.
This is the Internet News.
Internet News.
So, best man speeches generally go down quite well with wedding guests, but not many go down quite as well as this incredible rap from the best man to the groom, Luke Davies. For the people watching online, you get to appreciate the hat and the costume that went along with this. For everyone else, here is the wedding rap.
Oh, here we go.
They're in the reception room.
He's wearing a very fetching green tracksuit and a cap.
Authentic hood. I think that's it.
Dangerous! If you'd like to be known, call him down as on my phone. You can call him Archie, you can call him Davis. Let him in your house, and you're gonna have to break this
He's good.
door. Of farts and sweat, gonna leave a hefty stink on that you can bet. You'll be swearing and shouting too. Make sure your mother's not around, cause it's really air blue. Is he all singing? Are you all dancing? Are you all swearing? He's the Lukey Davis. Are you all singing? Are you all dancing? Are you all swearing? He's the Lukey Davis over Karen. He's off.
Wow, that went on for another 5 minutes before everyone got up and had a standing ovation.
He should release it. I beat Rixton at the number one.
That was unnecessarily catchy, wasn't it?
Also, watching the video, I noticed all the women had amazing hats. I think ladies get it better with weddings, with those crazy hats with, like, swans on top and stuff.
That's what you have to say, just the hats.
Yeah, I want a swan hat.
I agree. You know, with men's formal wear, it's just like, do I have a black suit or a grey suit? Whereas women have, like, everything that's vaguely considered a dress and hats if they're going to a thing.
I think I'd get a giant stag beetle.
You'd be like Princess Beatrice was like the weird thing. Okay, well, you, next time you go something, top hat with a beetle on it, Phil.
Will
Start
do.
it. I'll see you in GQ.
Internet news. It's been a while since a decent face appeared in some food.
Yeah, I am fed up of Jesus in pasta.
So thankfully, the face of the Cookie Monster has mysteriously been found in a cooking pot full of pasta.
Okay, for everyone who's not online, like, this is incredible, this picture. It's basically 2 bubbles of foamy water and then just some pasta in a pan, but it looks exactly like the Cookie Monster.
It looks like the Cookie Monster's been boiled to a different colour. It looks so much like him.
That is literally, I mean, that's not like vague Virgin Mary on some toast.
No.
That is the Cookie Monster,
It's been
isn't
a
it?
while since the Cookie Monster, so has he died and come back in a pasta bowl?
I think that's what eBay will be trying to claim, Phil.
Internet news.
Last week, BBC weather forecaster Carol Kirkwood had the misfortune of being joined by an unwelcome guest, answering the call of nature right in the middle of her weather forecast from Sussex Beach. Much to the amusement of her colleagues in the studio, Carol was unaware of what a brown Labrador was doing on the beach behind her. Here is the clip.
And there'll be some spectacular lightning as well. But it quietens down a touch
Oh, no.
on Sunday, although it will still be hot.
A
and
dog
humid.
has arrived.
Not quite
What's the
as
dog
hot and
doing?
humid as it's going to be in the
Oh,
next
no.
few days, Charlie and Dave.
Oh, Carol, don't look behind
It's
you.
doing a poo.
Don't turn around.
And then go to a dog broadcast and then do that behind the
Exact
dog
her
broadcast.
revenge. I wonder how many views we'd get if we uploaded every mistake from our radio show onto YouTube.
A lot.
14 billion.
Internet news.
The Internet News.
We have a modern-day version of Romeo and Juliet now sent in by Lou, wherein Juliet is a Tumblr addict that never left the house until she met Romeo, of course. Here's We the Kings with Check Yes Juliet.
On BBC Radio 1.
That was We the Kings with Check Yes Juliet. So on the topic of unexpected surprises, such as pooping Labradors and Emma Watson, the other week I bought a strawberry milkshake.
Yeah.
You know, one of those ones that comes in the plastic bottle. The brand kind of rhymes with a bad search engine. Or perhaps canoe.
Or a sneeze.
Or a sneeze.
I'm onto you.
I know what I'm talking about. So I bought a strawberry one, I opened it, I put it in my mouth, and it was banana.
What?
Yeah, it was a banana-flavoured milkshake that had the wrong packet on it. I had never felt more violated.
But it was
than
the right
that
colour.
exact- Yeah, but it's nothing is worse than when you expect a flavour, and then it goes into your mouth, and you're like, whoa. Because it's not like I didn't like banana. You know what I mean? It's like afterwards I was like, okay, I'm actually in the mood for banana. But it's like when you're having a selection box of chocolates and you're like, no, I'm going to... Pineapple one, blah. You know, oh, it was horrifying.
It's like when they released that green ketchup that tasted the same as ketchup, but it was green. Just messes with your senses. Shouldn't do it. Should be banned.
Absolutely.
Keep those coming in with hashtag that was unexpected, and we'll be reading some more after this. The Brown family are nearing the end of a 3-hour journey from Surrey to Alton Towers.
Wow.
Here's party rock anthem, LMFAO.
Every day I'm shuffling.
LMFAO for the Brown family in the car. Hello, Brown family. Now it's time to talk about things that are unexpected. Meow.
So I was perusing the hashtag that was unexpected on Twitter. I've got a funny one from Anna. They said she started dancing with her friends and then all of a sudden just projectile vomited.
What? Any reason why?
Hashtag that was unexpected. No
Exorcist.
context. That was it. That was the tweet. That was amazing. And
Okay.
obviously because it's trending worldwide now, thanks everybody for joining in, it's mostly One Direction fans that seem to be unexpected at the fact that Harry and Louis especially came out wearing some very snazzy clothing today. I mean, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like the lead singer Aerosmith.
So much snaz.
Wow, look at Louis. That is what he looks like Bono.
He does.
I'm surprised with you, One Direction fans. What have you got, Phil?
We've had some texts as well. Isabel said, I was at school and I felt something squishy in my shoe. I had a look and found a cheese sandwich in there. Ugh. That's going to smell after a while.
How could you not notice, like, 2 slices of bread and some cheese under your foot?
She just felt it there. Maybe she was saving it for
You
later.
said she was at school,
Yeah.
so she must have, like, travelled to school without... Okay.
Molly from Lincoln was at Centre Parks when an angry goose came into their cabin and she was traumatised as it kept pecking at the window.
Oh, no.
I've got one up worse from that. I was at Centre Parks and a goose actually bit me. A Canada goose. Just went to stroke it and it was like, huh.
You got literally bitten by a goose.
I did. I have
Wow.
flashbacks to that goose.
What, were you just trying to be a loving child interacting with nature? And it's
Yeah.
like, huh?
Centre Parks need to control their geese population.
There are other foresty places you can go with your family.
Animal related. We've got a nice one now. Hannah came home from school and there was a dog on her bed. So she phoned her mum. She was like, there's a weird dog on my bed. Why is it there? And she said, it's just your early birthday present.
Aww.
A dog.
It's a good thing she didn't just, like, throw it outside or something like that.
I'm scared of dogs. Yeah, so those are our texts. So keep those coming in on Twitter. I want some more tweets. Hashtag that was unexpected.
I like that was rebalanced after the goose attack with the nice dog. But now we go to our next music video, which probably has more green screen than the Phantom Menace, which I guess, given the song, would make Taylor Swift Darth Maul.
I'm sure she appreciates that, Dan.
I think she would. Thanks to Jack, Sidra, Molly and Sophie for this. Here is Taylor Swift. We are never ever getting back together. Thanks for the video, guys.
Dan and Phil, they escaped from the internet and climbed into your ears.
Aloha, Emma.
Hi.
Hi. So did anything unexpected happen to you?
Yeah, a couple of months ago, I went to the BBC for a studio tour
Oh, cool.
Okay, cool. Plug.
with my friend, and I've never ever met anyone famous, and I walked in
Yeah.
with so I was like to my friend, I was like, oh, I've never met anyone famous, I probably never will. And just as I was about to go in, Greg James walked past me.
Actual Greg James walked past you.
You sound quite
Greg
excited.
James,
Why
and
the
I
memory?
couldn't, like, form a sentence or anything. I was just like...
Did you speak to him? Did you say anything to him?
No, I didn't even realise it was him until I walked past.
Oh, no.
So then it was one of those you look over your shoulder and then you just crumble into a pile of emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Phil and Emma Watson.
Yeah, that's just like me and Emma Watson, actually. I feel your pain. So who do you reckon would win in a fight to the death between me and Dan and Greg James?
Why does your mind instantly go to fights to the death?
I want to know.
Okay.
I don't know. It depends what kind of fight.
We're going to be using
Pillow fight.
pillows.
I mean, definitely you two. Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Did Greg look like how you expected him to look in real life? Because that's always the thing. People always see me and go, you're so much taller than I thought you were going to be. What did you think about Greg?
I couldn't even, like, calculate what I was thinking at the time.
Well,
like...
we've been like that at the BBC. Like,
Yeah.
I feel your pain because we came into the BBC just to turn up for work, and then someone would hold the lift door open. And we were like, "Who's coming in? The Queen or something?" And then actual Gangnam Style Psy just enters the lift, and then me and Phil are just like,
I think
"What is happening?"
I think the noise Dan made was
I was like, "No."
no. Yeah, we feel your pain.
And then I took a secret photo of him, and the security guard asked me to delete it, but I didn't. That's fine.
Emma, I enjoyed that story. That was good. It's nice to hear that perspective of meeting someone, and then I feel better about Emma Watson now.
Okay,
so
that's what this is about.
What would you like to listen to tonight?
Can I have Holla Back Girl by Gwen Stefani, please?
Dan just did a round of applause.
That's
Excited by
like
that.
greatest song of all time material, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you want to dedicate to this 21? Greg James,
yeah,
maybe?
Can I dedicate it to Stacey, Lucy, Bethan, Fleur and Neha, please?
This goes out to all of those people. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Girl Gwen Stefani, thank you, Neptunes, for making so much good music. The last thing I reblogged on Tumblr was actually some sparkly glitter text of that song.
Wow.
The Fates Have Aligned.
It was meant
Thank
to
you
be.
for requesting that, Emma. But now we have something cool to talk about.
The Radio 1 Breakfast Show with Nick Grimshaw.
So, Grimmy is going to be doing something very exciting on Tuesday morning on The Breakfast Show. He is going back to everybody's favourite city this year. It's like City of the Universe this year, isn't it? Glasgow, Centre of the Universe 2014, as it is the host city of the Commonwealth Games this year. And he's going to be doing a special show.
There's going to be musical performances from Ella Eyre, Naughty Boy and Professor Green. I asked if I could perform, but they said no.
You don't have the musical credentials,
Unfortunately
I'm afraid.
not.
As well as that, he will be chatting to some of the British athletic hopefuls, and that is happening from 6:30, so bright and breezy up in Glasgow.
It's going to be on Tuesday morning, 6:30 tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I'll be listening.
And this ties in quite well to what we're doing next in terms of sport-wise.
Oh, in Dan versus Phil wise.
I feel slightly oversported at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, I am excited, and I will watch all of the highlights. But it was just like Wimbledon and the World Cup, and I'm just like, oh man.
My knees have started to click when I walk. I don't know if that means they're getting stronger.
What exercise have you done?
All of our Dan versus Phils that are all sport related.
So you're saying 3.5 minutes of exercise a week is making your knees click?
Giving me clicky knees.
Okay, well, we'll talk about the physical activity that we'll be doing soon, but if you want to listen to Grimmy's special Commonwealth show, that is Tuesday from 6:30, Radio 1 Breakfast Show.
Now, we have a great little stop-motion video from Monica and Sietske. It's worth watching just because there's a little hamster eating Cheerios. And
Essentially, this hamster eating Cheerios is the most incredibly cute thing ever.
if you're going to put a hamster in the video, I will show it on the website. So here is The Killers with Reasons Unknown, which is actually my favourite track from Sam's Town.
Oh, really?
So enjoy this and look out for the hamster. For Reasons Unknown, The Killers. Thank you, Monica and Sietske, for that hamstery video. It's now time to talk about...
Dan versus Phil.
So we were made to play tennis
Yep.
incredibly unsuccessfully with ball pit balls for Wimbledon. Then we did finger football for Wimbledon. So then the question is, presented with a multitude of sports themed around the Commonwealth Games, what are we going to do? I suggested shooting or maybe lawn bowls, but apparently that lawn bowls wasn't up for it. So we are combining two sports today in an effort to create a new sport.
I think this could go down well.
It is a mix of cycling and basketball, obviously, which part we were going to call it like basket bike or cycle ball, but then
Yeah.
when we explained it to Jamila Jamil earlier on the chart show, she said...
Balls on wheels.
Balls on wheels. So me and Phil are now going to play a game of balls on wheels, whereby we have to try to maintain an incredibly high cycling speed and play basketball at the same time, and whoever scores the highest wins.
I think this is going to be worth watching on the website,
I
this one.
think how we should treat this is, if it's successful, we should write a really nice essay and then just find Claire Balding and then just like slip it under her hand and be like, make it happen.
Yeah.
Make it it's more exciting than lawn bowls.
I think she'd like it. Get on the Radio 1 website now to watch this. It's going to be interesting.
Balls on Wheels, happening live on camera on the Radio website right now for all the people that want to check it out. But here for your ears is Riley Ritchie with Stronger Than Ever.
Dan versus Phil.
BBC
Radio 1.
That was Charlie XCX with Boom Clap. You may know her from good songs.
That was so tiring.
Bicycle basketball. We can't do it, but my God, should that be a sport? Imagine people... Okay, Segway basketball, that could be a thing.
That could be a thing. But the bicycles are on level 25, which is like mountain category.
We shouldn't have trolled each other by winding up the difficulty.
No.
It wasn't a necessary handicap, was it, to be honest?
That was a real close one, though, so we're going to get someone to announce the winner as those are tabulated.
Legitimately no idea who won that.
No idea.
The tension is unbearable, but yes, we will formally reveal the winner and discuss how successful it was as a sport after this.
Josie is making us jealous of our art skills by drawing an amazing portrait of Hayley Williams.
I wish you could draw me like a French girl.
That's inappropriate, Dan. I look forward to the restraining order.
The Dan and Phil Show on Radio 1. It's like eating a cake, but with your ears.
Paramore Misery Business, thank you for the video, Josie. But now it is time to reveal the winner of Dan versus Phil.
I've had to unleash my forehead because my fringe was stuck together with sweat.
Hot. I'm glad you shared that with everyone.
Now, this is very important. Millie!
Hello, Phil.
Hello.
Oh, you sound perky.
You do. The perfect person to change our fates and announce the winner of Dan versus Phil.
Well, thank you.
Do you have the relevant information?
I do, yes.
Okay, do you want to take it away?
Okay, so Dan got 15, and can I have a drum roll, please?
Yes.
Oh, it's tense.
15.
And Phil had 17. Phil was the winner.
What? I was so sure I had that.
I thought you had that as well.
I was so sure. How did you beat me?
I don't know.
Magic.
Oh, man. Oh, wow. That was tense. Okay, fair enough.
Do you think that could be a new sport, Millie, riding a bike and playing basketball at the same time?
Oh, definitely. It's a new triathlon.
This is the new triathlon.
Biathlon.
It's the...
At
Yeah,
the
a
same
biathlon.
time. It should make decathlons just the 10 sports at the same time, shouldn't they, to be honest? We all know that would take much less time to watch and be more entertaining.
That sounds like a new hashtag to me.
Equestrian swimming polo, yeah.
Definitely. Millie, that was great. You're a good announcer. I would hire you again. So you've earned yourself a request. What would you like to listen to tonight?
I'd like the national fandom anthem and Britney Spears' Toxic, please.
Classic.
A brilliant choice. Do you want to dedicate this to anyone?
Macy, 6'2" fan child.
This goes out to Macy, 6'2" fan child.
Yes, amazing.
With a PH, Phil.
Brilliant. Here is Britney Spears. Everyone sing along.
Thank you.
Toxic, Britney Spears for Millie.
Can I just say, before that, you made a weird noise. What was that?
I was trying to do the sexual baby... You know that I always
You
try
just
to
went,
do.
you went on the radio.
I was trying to be Britney Spears. It wasn't really going to work.
This is what you're going for.
Baby, can't you see?
Oh,
You know
not
that
again.
Like that. Go for it,
Okay.
Phil.
Baby, can't you see?
No, it just sounded like you were briefly trying to have a poo.
Wait.
Okay.
Baby, can't
No.
you see?
It's like a it's like. No, okay, let's move on.
So epic. It was like Game of Thrones, the Commonwealth Games.
That is how serious sport is, Phil.
So serious. Anyway, our next music video by James has a little story behind it.
Okay.
Can we have some medieval music, Dan?
Is this why you asked me to source a medieval song for you?
Yeah.
Okay, tell the story, Phil.
This is what it said in the video description. A long time ago, a warrior was born. He was the greatest and had won many battles. Many years later, he found a scientist that could make him a transporter to win the most important battle.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Was that English?
I don't know.
He found a scientist that could make him a transporter to win the most... That was just the YouTube description for this
Yeah,
video.
it's
Wow.
amazing, though.
Okay, I'm excited.
It'll all make sense. If you get to the Radio 1 website now, you can watch James's video. And while we're making some sense of it, here is Rudimental with Not Giving In.
Well, it's time to start the show.
Rudimental, Not Giving In. Thank you very much for that video, James. Kind of feel a bit motion sick now, though.
Oh, what? Because it was GoPro-y?
Yeah.
What can you not handle?
I don't know. I felt like I was in a car reading a book or something.
It was like a cross between Doctor Who and the Blair Witch Project, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's funny that you do that, though, because, you know, some people are fine with a little bit of jiggling, and then some people can't handle it at all. Like my godmother once, she can't watch video games, because
Right.
anything first person, like Tomb Raider, just makes her sick. To the point where it was like Christmas morning, and my godmother was around my house. She watched me play Tomb Raider for like 2 minutes, and she threw up.
What?
In the room with people, just because the camera... Gross, but true.
This is BBC Radio 1.
So about the video, that was good.
Yeah, the video. It was great. It was a great effort. I loved the transportiness. He fell out of a swimming pool, then transported onto a lawn, and there's water everywhere.
It was extremely well made, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And to a good song. So thank you very much for that, James. It was excellent.
If James inspired you, or if you've ever made a music video to any song for like an A-level project, or you just made one for fun in the summer holidays, please send it to us. Then you can get your favourite song on the radio.
Yes, because, you know, our show, you can watch it on the radio and website, so lots of people go, how does that work? Well, playing people's music videos that they've made themselves at home is a huge part of the show.
It
So
is.
as Phil said, if you've already made a music video, or perhaps you just have a favourite song, and you're a creative kind of person, and you just feel like making a music video to your favourite song, all you have to do is send it to us, and we could play it as a song on the radio. So all you have to do is make a video, upload it, and send a link to the video to Dan and Phil at bbc.co.uk, and we could be playing your music video as a song on our next show. It is literally that simple.
We've got another one now for you.
Oh yes, this one is coming from Royal Cabbage on YouTube, which is the best username ever in my opinion.
That's such a good username.
It's a dramatic enactment of the lyrics to Gives You Hell, including a lot of girl-on-girl violence. Enjoy.
I wake up every evening.
Dan and Phil on BBC Radio 1.
Now it's time for some Rizzle Kicks for Ali on Facebook. Here's Teller.
Radio 1.
Bit of RZA kicks for you there, and now it is time to pass on the metaphorical Commonwealth baton. Is it the relay that does?
Yeah.
Alid with the surgery is the show after ours. Hello, Alid.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm very good, thank you. Very good. I've enjoyed my weekend, so I'm feeling quite relaxed.
Good.
That's good.
Yeah, okay. So glad I shared.
So what's coming up on your show tonight?
Tonight on The Surgery, it is a disability special. So maybe you're disabled and you have some questions about relationships or work or college. Maybe you've got a friend who's disabled and you've got questions about that. Or maybe you just have questions generally or advice you want to share. Whatever it is about disability, we are here to help tonight. So the phone number is 03700 100 100, or you can text us on 81199.
And the phone lines no longer belong to me and Phil. They are all about Alid and Dr. Rada,
Yes.
so sorry, but it is all about the surgery from now on.
Yes.
So thank you very much, Alid.
Thank you.
Thank
See you later.
you. Ciao. And now we're going to our next video, which is from Sydney, who wants to have a little bit of Fall Out Boy on the radio. Here is Fall Out Boy with Young Volcanoes. Young Volcanoes, thank you for the video, Sydney.
The end of that video had a swimming pool in it, and I would definitely sell my left ear for a swimming pool right now.
I understand that it's warm when you want a swimming pool, but you wouldn't sell your left ear for a swimming pool.
For one on the roof of my house I could use at any point.
You would not sell one of your... It's just a swimming pool.
Okay, I'd get my ear pierced a lot.
That's just not exciting anymore. No one would install a swimming pool on your roof just to watch you get a piercing.
I'd get it pierced 100 times.
That's, Phil.
Okay.
It's either ear or no swimming pool. What's
Ear
it gonna
or no
be?
ear. With Noel Edmonds coming soon to No Television.
Changing the subject, now it's time for the part of the show where we laugh at your friends and family's technical problems that you sent into us that this week are being read out by the erotic tones of Radio 1's Jamila Jamil. This is Sorry, I Don't Know How to Internet.
Internet? Isn't that a misplaced tennis serve in Yorkshire?
I don't get all this facial book.
The World Wide what?
Sorry, I don't know how to internet.
Our first story today comes from Lily.
My dad had to print an email and he asked if I could hook up his phone to a printer. When I told him that I could just open his inbox on the computer, he was baffled. I spent probably 30 minutes explaining that if he had Gmail on his phone, it would be on the computer too. He still doesn't understand.
Okay, I think that's a bit much to give someone. You know what I mean? It's like bringing someone from the Stone Age and being like, this is the internet. You can't just go straight in there with Gmail app and expect his head not to just explode at that moment.
Do you know what I miss?
What?
The AOL lady going, you have email.
By the AOL lady, you mean, of course...
Oh, Joanna Lumley. It was Joanna Lumley.
It was actual Joanna Lumley.
I miss her voice in my ears.
I bet you used to just email yourself so you could hear it whenever you wanted.
Maybe. Our next story comes from Mahek.
My friend's mother wanted to ask my friend if everything was going all right, but she couldn't find the question mark while typing, so she just typed the word question mark.
Just typed question mark.
That's... I mean, if you get that from a friend's mum, you're just going to be confused, aren't you? It's like, was she being sarcastic, or... I don't know how to interpret that, to be honest.
That is so confusing, exclamation mark.
For example, yes.
Maybe I could just do all my emotions on the radio, just say them. I'm feeling shocked.
Oh, what, for people that aren't watching? Okay.
Excited face. I don't know what else to suggest face. Our next story comes from Leah.
I was Facebook stalking someone the other day when I went to see who was tagged in a photo.
Okay.
But I slipped and tagged them as myself.
Ooh.
I stared at the screen in horror and then just made up some status about my computer tagging me in photos. I just looked weird.
You made up a status? Okay, but that doesn't happen. You can't say my computer has been tagging me in photos. There's nothing that can possibly go wrong with a computer that would just make a tag happen.
Those things are the ultimate excuse, though. Like, if you're like, I really, really fancy you in a text, and then they're like, what?
Yeah, shut
go away.
down.
You're like, oh, my little brother sent that.
That's like
It's
the
fine.
classic lie, though, isn't it? When someone does something on the internet, like someone posts something and they hold out on it, they're like, that was my little brother on my account. That, just so you know, everybody listening, never use that excuse. It's literally the worst one ever.
Especially me, as I don't have a little brother, so I get called out on that one.
Particularly people that don't have little brothers. The next one comes from Meg W.
My nan likes to call Facebook Faculty Book and Twitter Tweety Pies. She also calls Dan and Phil Den and Phyllis.
Phyllis?
Den and Phyllis?
What?
Right, okay, right. With these, I don't know whether she's just confused or she's given these things nicknames.
Yeah.
Because with Faculty Book and Tweety Pies, that sounds like she's just given them nicknames. But why would she choose to call us Den and Phyllis?
Why don't I always get the old lady name? Why does that happen? And then you get Den, which is a really manly name.
Are you implying that I'm not manly?
Maybe.
Do you want to fight right now? I'll take you on Phyllis.
Are you going to fight Phyllis?
Do you want to take on Den?
To move on swiftly.
Thanks, Meg's grandma, for that.
To Natalia.
I borrowed my mum's laptop, so obviously I had a look at the search history.
No.
These are some of her recent searches.
Here we go.
Who is Phil Lester?
Me. Of course.
Who is Dan Howell?
Uh-oh.
My daughter likes Dan and Phil. What shall I do?
Cry.
Is Justin Bieber a girl?
Oh, that is classic, isn't it?
See, I did think that could be fake, but then the Justin Bieber thing is so old.
Exactly.
That's a mum
that
thing.
couldn't be made up, because saying, oh, Justin Bieber looks like a girl is such an... I mean, he doesn't have that hair anymore, does he?
No.
That can only be made up by a mum who's just so out of touch with pop culture for like 5 years.
They always discover things a lot later than everyone else.
Brenda last week, never heard of Gangnam Style. Our Shonan, good example.
She's dancing to it right now, though.
Nice mental image. And sorry to all of the mums out there.
That was sorry I did that. I don't know what just happened to me then, I'm sorry.
You were just really excited and the whole sentence came out at the same time.
It came out in one sound.
One onomatopoeia of joy. If you have stories of funny things to do with the internet and technology and stuff and you want to send them to us, all you have to do is email them to danandphil@bbc.co.uk. And if you have photographic or video evidence, I'm not saying that you should film your grandma or mum struggling to use the computer, but if you happen to do and email them to us, then that would be great and we could use them in the show next week. Thanks. We got some 5 seconds of summer now, thanks to Ellie and Mickey. This is the rebellious anthem known as Good Girls.
She's a good girl. She's daddy's.
We've had some more unexpected texts from people. Not unexpected texts, but texts about unexpected things.
We had more texts that we didn't expect because we're really unpopular. No, we asked for them. It's okay.
They're both animal-related, actually.
Hit me.
Kirsty said, my dad once looked in the garden and there was a whole herd of cows in the garden just eating the garden bush.
I presume she lives somewhere where that makes a vague amount of sense for that to happen.
Yeah, my grandparents live on the Isle of Man and we'd always get cows in the garden and I'd think of it as a cow day. And I remember eating my Ryvita, because I only used to eat Ryvitas. Watching the cows. There's a memory for you.
What? There were so many things in that. Okay, right, so grandparents, cows used to invade and you'd eat a specific kind of biscuit and then you remember it as the cow days.
And I put butter and honey kind of congealed on it as well. Delicious.
And only on the days when cows would come into your grandparents' garden.
On the cow day.
On the Isle of Man.
And also Holly said, I was in Malaysia with my family and we were driving down a busy street when a man on a motorbike pulled up next to the car. I looked around and he had a monkey riding on him with the motorbike. What? That doesn't make grammatical sense, but I understand what you were saying. There was a monkey riding on a motorbike with a man, which sounds like a surreal image.
We've got a video sent by Jack to Mr. Probs Waves. Here it is. Mr. Probs Waves with a very kind of beautiful and serene video by Jack. It was quite summery.
It's time for the listeners to get involved. This is Dan and Phil on BBC Radio 1.
Speaking of summariness, it's been so hot in London and probably the rest of the UK.
Which I think is a thing that everyone is aware of quite horribly.
I think yesterday my eyes were sweating. But also, we've had the thunderstorms of destiny as well.
Apocalyptic thunderstorms all night.
So loud, my Furby fell off the windowsill after it got covered in rain.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it okay?
It was okay.
Is it still able to make profoundly disturbing noises when you least expect it?
Unfortunately, it's still alive.
That's all that matters.
I also invented a way to cool down.
Is this the weird... Okay, yes, tell everyone.
I put my pants and socks in the fridge.
I went to go get a drink out of the fridge and I saw a pair of Phil's pants on the shelf and I was like... I'm ready for the context, Phil, whenever you're ready. Why is the tender stem broccoli touching your pants?
They were clean pants.
Which, you know, reassured
me
to an extent.
That's fine for the fridge. Yeah, but it really helped. For like 5 minutes after that, I was just breezily walking around in my frozen pants. Really cooled down. I'd recommend it to anyone listening. Put your pants and socks in the fridge.
Although if you're a student, make sure you ask. And, you know, there's times to accidentally use up someone else's shelf space, but then putting your underwear on it when you don't expect it is probably not one of those times.
That's very true. But that's my recommendation for this link.
And do you kind of like dip a biscuit in honey and then look out the window and call them pant stays as well? Or is that just with the cows on the Isle of Man?
That's just reserved for the cows.
Okay, it's good to know you're keeping that special, Phil.
Yeah.
What's the next request that someone would like to hear?
I'm very excited for this request. It is Sexy Back, Justin Timberlake.
Oh, nice choice.
Thank you very much, Krista. on Twitter for this one.
Sexy Back, Justin Timberlake. I realised an interesting fact, Phil.
Yeah?
24 songs. About 40% of the songs that we've played tonight have all been from the years 2006 and 7. Wow, good musical year.
Mysterious.
Dan and Phil on BBC Radio 1.
Nearing the end of the journey now. The time has come.
I'm not ready to leave.
I think I want to thank everybody that joined in with our hashtag That Was Unexpected. I think it put your Emma Watson into perspective in terms of how weird the universe can be out of nowhere.
I've loved this hashtag. We've got one more from Chloe who said, I was at my grand's house where suddenly she looked at me and said, I really don't like Keith Lemon. And then she just went back to what she was doing with no explanation.
Okay, I think we're all imagining that as like a really kind of like the grandma hasn't talked for 10 years and then just turns around and just expresses that opinion. Wow.
Yeah.
That was unexpected.
Just Keith Lemon's face came into her mind. I quite like Keith Lemon.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. You have just balanced out the universe, Phil.
I have.
Even if you weren't a surprising grandma.
What else have we learned today, Dan?
What today in the show?
Yeah.
We've learned that the Cookie Monster can be reincarnated in some spaghetti.
That's true.
All geese are evil.
They are all evil.
Yep.
Also, put your pants in the fridge.
And put your pants in the fridge when you're cold, as long as the people that you live with are aware of what you're doing before you do it, preferably.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say we don't contribute to society. Do you think we should thank everybody that got involved in our show?
I've got them here.
Let's do the end credits. Thank you to Tim,
Martha,
and Anastasia,
Alexander,
and Crazy Dreamer,
Lou,
and Jack,
Sidra,
and Holly,
Sophie,
and Monica,
Siska,
and Josie,
James,
and Royal Cabbage,
Sydney,
and Ellie,
Mickey,
and Jack,
Bryony,
and Danny,
the Brown family,
and Lily, and Leah,
and Meg,
and Natalia,
and Emma,
and Millie,
and Ellie,
and Morgan,
and Amy,
and Krista. Thank you, everybody. Alan with the surgery is coming up next, but now requested by Amy, who texted in. We have Kooks, Naive. Good night, everyone.
Night.
Don't put your pants in the fridge unless you tell people that you're living with.
Do it.
Please.
I'm not saying it was your fault, although you could have done more.